Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome to this Halloween-themed review. Now, this one might not be super duper Halloween related, but it does have some murder mystery elements to it, some creepy shadows and visuals, and scary music too. So, I figured that I should talk about the episode muh-muh-muh-murder from the Looney Tunes show. Yeah, I know, this franchise actually has Halloween specials, but I didn't grow up with those specials as a kid. However, I did grow up with the Looney Tunes show, and I do remember seeing this episode a few times as a kid. I don't know if I was freaked out by it though, maybe I was kinda creeped out by some parts in it, but I also remembered that there was a funny subplot with Lola and her broken leg, so it's not completely scary. But Halloween-centered media does have a lot of murders and or mysteries, a rumored killer on the loose, and all that stuff. Plus, I just wanted to do a better job covering this Looney Tunes show episode after the last time I tried to do it. I'm not saying it's my worst review ever, but it's not my best either. Alright, some of you know the drill at this point, but if you don't, here's how I do things. I'll give a quick summary first, give you my thoughts on it after, and follow that up with fun facts and a few jokes here and there. We good? Splendid. Let's begin. Now, this episode has an A plot and B plot. I'll talk about the B plot first, since it is quicker and it doesn't connect much to the murder mystery type A plot. The episode starts with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Porky Pig hanging out at Pizzeria. There, Bugs gets a call from Lola Bunny, who tells him that she broke her leg. Bugs gets to the doctor's office quickly and asks her what happened. That's when Lola tells the greatest story ever. And in the spirit of keeping things unspoiled, I'm not going to share all the things that happen in her story. But I will say that after the many things she deals with that should have broken her leg, she actually got away unscathed. So, how did she break her leg? Well, she just came in for a checkup and slipped when getting up on the doctor's chair. Because of course, it could only happen to this Lola Bunny. Anyway, Bugs allows Lola to be at his house while her leg heals, and he brings all of her stuff from her home to spruce up the living room. Lola claims that it'll be like she's never even here. But right away, she starts asking Bugs to do stuff for her, getting on his nerves. These things include getting her water and carrying her up and down the stairs when she needs to go to the bathroom or come back down again. Eventually, Lola feels so bad for making Bugs do that she gets a stair lift installed. Hey, at least she's considerate. Then we get a couple jokes about her confusing pizza for Chinese food. And that's kinda it. Other than the fact that her leg cast comes off in 6 weeks. So yeah, Bugs has to deal with Lola at his home for 6 weeks. I'll give my joke about that later, and my overall thoughts on the B plot as well. Now, let's talk about the A plot. After Bugs rushes off, Porky drives Daffy back to Bugs' house. But Daffy doesn't have his own house keys, so he asks to be driven to Porky's house instead. That makes Porky hesitate. Daffy catches it and becomes suspicious. "What are you hiding?" he asks. "Nothing," Porky says. So he relents and drives Daffy to his place. Porky goes off to cook in the kitchen while Daffy watches some TV. He turns on the news and a report comes about a criminal known as the Suburban Strangler, described by the reporter as a creepy recluse who keeps to himself and is chubby, short, and bald with a pig-like nose. Coincidentally, Daffy used those exact terms to describe Porky earlier. Now Daffy starts to think that Porky is the Strangler, and his fears are made even greater when he hears and sees Porky hacking away at a chicken with a cleaver. This causes him to faint and wake up in Porky's guest room later. He tries to call for help, but the phone line is cut. When Porky checks up on him, he offers to drive Daffy home, but Daffy refuses because he thinks that's what the killer would try to do. As the night goes on, Daffy investigates the house to find more clues that could prove Porky is the Strangler, and he snoops on him to gather more evidence. In his own Daffy-like way, of course. He eavesdrops on a call Porky makes about doing something tonight, and to pick up something in his freezer in the garage. Daffy tries to run out of the house, but the door is seemingly locked. Then he notices the blood on Porky's hands, sees a shadow of him murdering a woman with a chainsaw, and is even told by Porky to not go into a certain room. Even though Porky still seems hospitable, like offering to make Daffy a sandwich and some tea, Daffy is still letting his fears get the best of him. Later, he discreetly goes into the room Porky doesn't want him in. There, Daffy finds countless pictures of him all over the walls. When Porky walks in, Daffy says he knows exactly what he's up to, and Porky replies, "Then you leave me no choice." He puts down the tea, opens up the desk drawer, and pulls out a photo frame. Actually, it's a photo collage of Daffy for his birthday. Yeah, it turns out Porky thought that Daffy figured out about the early surprise birthday party plan, so he decided to give the gift to Daffy now, which Daffy actually requested a while ago, and he gave Porky the photos. Daffy says, "So you don't want to murder me?" Porky asks why would he want to murder him? But Daffy thinks only a killer would say that, so he takes the tea Porky made him and splashes it all over him. Porky gets pissed off and runs at him, making Daffy smack him with a tea tray. This causes Porky to hit the wall, stagger, and fall down the stairs. Daffy tries to get around him, but Porky grabs his leg and says the name Speedy. Now Daffy thinks Porky did something to Speedy Gonzales, so he kicks Porky in the face, steals his wallet and keys, and tries to escape in Porky's car. However, Porky staggers out into the street, and Daffy tries to run him over with the car. He hits him, but Porky lands on the car and hangs onto the windshield for dear life. After the car finally crashes at a local park, Daffy runs off, with Porky not that far behind. Daffy gets to Pizzeria and finds Speedy on the floor. But then he gets up, and along with Daffy's other friends, surprise him with the early birthday party Porky was planning for him. That's when Daffy starts accusing Porky of being the suburban strangler, bringing up all the evidence he gathered that would implicate him. But all the evidence he got is a load of crap. The locked door, it actually wasn't locked. Daffy was just too weak to open it. The phone line being cut? Well, the phone was just an antique decoration. The blood on Porky's hands? It was paint, used to make the birthday banner. And the murder of a woman with a chainsaw? Turns out Porky was using it to make an ice sculpture of Daffy. And to add the cherry on top of the Porky is not the Strangler Sunday, a breaking news report says the actual suburban strangler was just captured by police. This means Porky suffered because Daffy is, as he put it earlier, a paranoid, hateful fearmongerer. This is why you don't jump to hasty conclusions about a news story. That'll just make you look like an idiot, like Daffy. The end. So that's the episode. What are my thoughts? Well, I do have plenty. I'll start off with the B-plot first. To be honest, it could have been cut out and you wouldn't have missed much. It doesn't connect that much to the Daffy and Porky storyline, aside from Bugs showing up a couple times. But I will say the B-plot doesn't last too long, and it is mostly funny and kinda sweet. And it did give us the greatest story Lola Bunny has ever told. Now, I don't want to spoil it, so go watch the episode to see what happened to her, but if you have seen it, you get why I love it and think it's hilarious. My thoughts on Lola Bunny in this show are pretty similar to other people's thoughts. She could have very easily been made too annoying and being too much for people to take. But she really wasn't. Maybe she was a little crazy, irritating, obsessive, and scatterbrained, but she is a very nice, goofy, unique, and kind person who doesn't have any true ill will against anyone. Sure, Bugs might have been annoyed by her being around the house with a cast on for 6 weeks, but come on, Bugs, you got a girl who's a pretty good-looking girl in your own home for 6 weeks. Take advantage of it. Or, no, wait, I'm sorry. Are you expecting this Lola Bunny to show up? No, this isn't that kind of show, buddy. Anyway, in my opinion, I found his moments with her in this episode to be funny and kinda cute. I think it really is the vocal performance of Kristen Wiig that makes this character so funny and likable.
You won't even know I'm here. Oh, Bugs?
Yes?
I'm kinda thirsty. Would you mind getting me a glass of milk?
Come on, that was pretty cute. Also, Lola getting that stair lift shows that she's not really that ignorant. She wanted to make it easier on Bugs. Plus, getting a stair lift installed for anyone that can't walk around normally with a cast on is a pretty smart idea. I'll make a mental note of that. Anyway, it's a simple little distraction from the main story. There's not much else I could say. Final score, 6.5 out of 10. Now, here are my thoughts on the main plot, the most Halloween-esque part of the episode. It does a good job at being a murder mystery story without actually being one. Most of the comedy comes from Daffy just being Daffy. He's constantly thinking that Porky, a sweet soul that would never hurt a fly, could be this dangerous killer. Most of the time you're just laughing at all of Daffy's antics. But as the episode keeps going, the creep factor does go up a bit. Porky starts speaking a little deeper sometimes. He tells Daffy not to go into a certain room and gives some looks that make you think, what actually is going on inside his head? Of course, we know that Porky was still innocent and Daffy was just being paranoid, but there have been stories where the seemingly nice guy turns out to be the murderer. No, I'm not referring to me. Stop it. Anyway, the shadows, the slow moments, and the music do make things a little more unsettling. And honestly, when you do see all those photos of Daffy everywhere in that room, it is a little freaky. Obviously, we know later about why there were so many, but without context, that is a pretty creepy moment. I honestly found it fun just seeing Daffy freak out and be scared of Porky, of all people. Sure, Porky has his moments where he cracks, but wouldn't you if you were him in this scenario? Plus, Porky Pig being a psychotic killer is probably something that those movies would do nowadays. Whoever it is that's making them, just stop. It's not really shocking anymore. It's old and tired. Leave these characters alone. But I digress. The episode does do a good job at changing tones in a way that isn't jarring, going from suspenseful to calm to action-packed and then funny again. The scene where Daffy tries to get away in Porky's car is pretty funny. Porky is hanging on for dear life. Both he and Daffy are screaming their heads off. They speed through town, nearly hit Bugs in his car, and just keep going until they crash into a statue at the park. Hey, this show is modernized, but it still has what makes the Looney Tunes great. It's somewhat grounded, but still zany as hell. I love it. Then we get the reveal that all the clues Daffy got were bogus, and most of the explanations do make sense. And if people think using a chainsaw to make art is excessive, remember this, there are dozens of people who use them to make these amazing wood carvings every day. It is not easy to do, especially if you're carving ice to make it look like this. To be honest, that is incredible. Porky is an artist, and I will die on this hill saying that. So the main plot was pretty funny, and I enjoyed it a great deal. Is it perfect? No, there is only one issue I have with the episode. Daffy was unable to open Porky's front door at first because he was too weak. However, when he does escape the house, he is able to open it. Also, there were a couple of moments where the lip syncing just kinda sucks.
If you see anyone matching this description, call 911.
Remind me again why you're not at home?
Because you're taking care of me and you live here. See? I'm doing you a favor.
Gee, thanks. What's going on?
Daffy's surprise party.
I thought that was supposed to be next week. Ugh.
Maybe it's an animation goof, I don't know, but that was a little error I found. And yeah, that's kinda it. I don't have too much to complain about. Is it the best Looney Tunes show episode? No, but it is fun and funny. So the final score I'll give to the main plot of muh-muh-muh-murder is an 8 out of 10. So 8 plus 6.5 equals 14.5. If you divide 14.5 by 2, it would be 7.25. Yeah, the overall score for the episode is a 7.25 out of 10. I know it's not a full-blown Halloween-y episode like the old Looney Tunes specials, but I still think it is a good watch while enjoying the holiday. Alright, let's get into the fun facts. Number 1, the episode's premise is similar to a Tiny Toons adventure short called America's Least Wanted, where Plucky, who is mentored by Daffy, thinks that Hampton, mentored by Porky, is a wanted killer after seeing a news report. Perhaps this episode was a nice little nod to that short. Number 2, Porky's license plate on his car is PP1935. PP being his initials, Porky Pig, and 1935 being the year in which he was first introduced in the Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies cartoons. Number 3, the Looney Tunes show cast was amazingly talented. Jeff Bergman played both Bugs and Daffy in the show, Bob Bergen plays Porky, Kristen Wiig plays Lola, and Fred Armisen plays Speedy. But did you know that the doctor nursing Lola's broken leg is played by the late Gary Marshall? You know, that Gary Marshall?
It's a simple fracture. She'll have the cast off in about 6 weeks.
Oh, I was here for a checkup and I slipped getting up on this table. It's really high. You should try it. No, wait, don't. You'll break your leg. Like me.
She's a keeper.
Hey, this is Gary Marshall we're talking about. He knew a thing or two about romance. Number 4, the episode currently has a 7.8 out of 10 score on its IMDb page. And finally, number 5, this was the second time that one of Porky's vehicles crashed into a park statue in the show. The first time happening being in the episode That's My Baby. If I had a nickel for every time... Actually, you know what? You got it already. And, well, that's, kinda it. But this is a Halloween-centered video. I gotta end it with something freaky. That'll do it. Good luck sleeping tonight, you bastards. Okay, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on the episode and this video in the comment section below as well. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, my name is Sam. Mwah, good night, everybody, and have a happy Halloween.